Every day I interview tech leaders, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and even the occasional celebrity or sports team about how technology is transforming their business right here on this Daily Tech podcast. And today's topic is around a company called Webroot, which is leveraging the San Diego Supercomputer Center, which is often referred to as the SDSC. And they're doing that to more efficiently scale and update its threat intelligence platform. How? By crunching data and powering complex machine learning. And that's just scratching the surface of what they're doing with it there. But I wanted to find out more about how this partnership is allowing Webroot to understand and help businesses defend against new attacks, but in real time. Especially because I think that's critical now, because attacks are evolving increasingly quickly. And I read recently that the average phishing attack duration has dropped to roughly 30 minutes. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Chelsea in London, where the Webroot CTO, Hal Lonas, has flown all the way from San Diego and waiting to talk with us about the partnership, including how SDSC's computational power can be 100 times more cost efficient compared with other solutions, and also the importance of public-private collaboration in the world of cybersecurity. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, thanks very much, Neil. It's great to be on your show. I'm the CTO at Webroot. My name is Hal Lonas. I've been at Webroot about 9 years and came in through the acquisition of a company called Bright Cloud. My special interest is in threat intelligence, and especially threat intelligence derived by machine learning and then applied through products that we offer to businesses. So that's a little bit about me.
Now, Webroot does have a reputation as a company that harnesses the cloud and machine learning to reliably predict and protect against cyber attacks, but all in real time. But for people hearing about Webroot for the very first time, can you just maybe set the scene and tell the listener a little bit more about the kind of problems you're solving for businesses out there?
Yeah, as you said, we're very good at finding cyber threats. So whether those are files, URLs, malicious IPs, and then being able to deliver that intelligence to businesses in real time. And what I mean by deliver is that we have an entire suite of products that cover endpoints on both Windows, Mac, mobile, as well as network protection and user security awareness training, all to protect users of businesses. And really the entire basis of that is a platform that's based on threat intelligence that we derive.
Now, one of the reasons I invited you on the podcast today was after hearing how Webroot is leveraging the San Diego Supercomputer Center, the SDSC, and they're doing that to more efficiently scale and update its threat intelligence platform by crunching data and powering a complex machine learning. Can you tell me more about this partnership and how it's actually allowing Webroot to understand and ultimately help businesses defend against these new attacks, again, but in real time?
Yeah, that's a key partnership we've got, Neil, and very important to what we're doing. A few years ago, when we'd been doing phishing protection and identification of phishing sites for several years, and we realized we were spending more and more computer time and effort on identifying those attacks and building machine learning models faster to identify the attacks in real time. And we were falling behind what we were able to do because we needed more compute horsepower. So we decided to get creative and look around at what else we could do. And we then identified the San Diego Supercomputer Center as somebody with great facilities, great compute power, somebody who had a public-private partnership that we could participate in. And so we worked out with them, over the course of several months. It took us to develop the capability to update our phishing detection machine learning models and do that using their facility.
And we'll have business leaders listening all over the world to this conversation, and I think it's one problem that unites absolutely everybody. So I've got to ask, are attacks evolving quicker than most people realize?
That's absolutely true, Neil. What we find is that if you ask people on the street or business people how concerned they are about phishing attacks, I think they consider it yesterday's news. They're like, I've heard about that for several years. I don't think it's that important anymore. But what we're really finding is that phishing attacks and sophistication are evolving faster than ever. And it's a kind of attack that, maybe you've heard in the news things about, deep fakes. that people are taking videos of our celebrities and political leaders and changing them. That same technology is being used with phishing sites and phishing attacks to improve the fidelity of those phishing attacks so that people can't tell the difference between what's fake and what's real. And of course, that's key to a phishing attack and fooling us into giving up our credentials, our business information, or letting the bad guys into our network to attack us.
And when I was researching you guys, I quickly came across a lot of information about the importance of public-private collaboration in cybersecurity. Is that something that you can expand on?
Oh, absolutely. So when we look at a facility like the San Diego Supercomputer Center and where the funding comes from, which is our government and some private sources, and then we look at what we can do with that public-private relationship to help us in the private sector for our business. It's just fantastic. So for us to have to go build that kind of facility by ourselves would be cost prohibitive and very, very take a long time to do, and a lot of our innovative skills. But to be able to take advantage of a facility that already exists and sort of timeshare it, part-time and get that the use of that facility is just fantastic. So it's a capability that there's no way that we could find any other place for doing what we need to do.
And just to put the power of that supercomputer partnership into perspective, am I right in saying that the SDSC's computational power can be 10 to 30 times more efficient than traditional computing facilities? Is that right?
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So, the traditional facilities we were using before, it would take us, days or even weeks to update our phishing models. So, we would get new information, see new kinds of attacks, and it would take us, a fairly long time to update those models. And, the faster we could update, the better we could protect businesses with higher accuracy protection against these phishing attacks. And so what we said was, well, what are we going to do? And when we looked at the San Diego Supercomputer Center and kind of tried it out, we were able to reduce those times from weeks and days down to, hours and minutes. So yeah, 100 times is a pretty good metric there, and having that kind of improvement has just been fantastic.
So, like you said a few moments ago, when a lot of people hear about anti-phishing, they think, it was a few years ago, or don't take it as seriously as they should do. So, I've got to ask, what makes Webroot's real-time anti-phishing software? What makes it different from other solutions out there?
Yeah, what's really cool, Neil, is that we actually intercept the sort of network connection from the endpoint you're at. So whatever screen you're looking at, if it's on a mobile device or let's say a PC, as you're connecting to a site, as you get an email and you click on that link and you're thinking it's your bank or it's your healthcare provider, we actually look at the network connection and identify in real time that's suspicious and it's looking like a phishing site, and then we can stop it in real time. So we don't just depend on only the URL, as many others do with lists that get out of date. We're actually in real time looking at that conversation. And just before, you enter, let's say your username and password, or maybe, identifying information that can be used, to get into your accounts, we can stop it. So it really is real time. It's between you and your network connection and the site you're going to.